I have a Samsung refrigerator. This is around 13 years old from 2009 and now it is 2022. And I had a problem with this ice dispenser flapper door. So that is right in there. And what happened is one day a spring and a little plastic piece fell off. And I knew that something has broken in there. And after that, the door would not close. And what happened is, if the door doesn't close, the flapper doesn't close, the ambient air is getting into the ice tray. And the ice bucket is melting. And you can see I have melted ice over here. And it will create some problems in your ice maker equipment there. And also there were like water or ice, in this case it was dripping. And so what I did was I was able to fix it, and in this video I'll show you how I fixed it. To remove this, the first thing is there is a screw right here, and depending on which model of Samsung you have, you might have 2 screws. Next thing is there are 2 notches on each side, and you take a flathead screwdriver and just gently push on the tabs in the inside, and that will release the two side tabs, and that will get the bottom open. To pull this panel, it is easier to just pull it from the back. So I'm going to take the fingers in, and there are 2 clips over here inside, 2 clips on the top, and then 2 other clips on the top here. So two on each side. And so if I pull this out, and it will come out. Now I am going to remove this this harness here, and I will press on this and slowly pull it out, and that will remove this panel here. Next, I'm going to just take the water spigot here and the water pipe, and then there will be 2 more connections, these connections here. But before I get there, I will have to take out the 2 screws in the back. So there is 1 screw right there and 1 screw right there. So those 2 should come off. With this magnetic screwdriver, it helps, and it will get the screw out. Same thing on the other side. The second one. The next is there are 2 clips here. There is 1 clip right here. So this will move it out. And then there is a clip right there. And that will take the assembly out. And now I can remove these. So before I remove this, I want to make sure that I have turned the power off, and otherwise it will keep on. It will give you some, this motor will keep running. So here you go. I'm going to remove this chute here, and there are 2. There's 1 notch right there and 1 on this side. So I will remove this one first, and it will come off. I'm going to press a little bit, and this one is out. And the other one will be very similar, and this one comes out. This one, you can see that the spring is not loading. I have to make sure that the spring has the tension on it. So I'm going to take this out. So to remove this, I'll gently pry this out. So there are 2 tabs, two little notches here. So this is the tricky part of this work, is to remove these two tabs without breaking it. And I have got this one out, and this one came up. So here is the small piece that broke. So this actually holds the spring right here. So I'm trying to glue this and see if the spring will hold. The spring is going to hold this way on the bottom of that. And if this doesn't work, I will get a new part. The new part number is also on my video. I used some Loctite super glue, and I was able to glue this back, and I let it cure for 12 hours overnight, and this looks pretty sturdy now. I think this will hold. So I'm going to put the spring back on. So the spring goes this way, and I will put this in there. So this piece can be popped out. There are two clips over here, and then this one comes apart, and this is a part number DA61-01914A. And this part is available also. So this is cheaper, around $10, $12 on eBay. And in my case, I will try it. I don't know if the glue will hold. And if it doesn't hold, I have ordered the part, and I replace this. And this one also is available. The whole piece is available for around $35, and I'll put the links on the video. So the problem is this spring is not loading properly for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one more round on the spring to get more tension. So this tension is not enough. And so the spring has been, our fridge has been used, we bought it in 2009, so it's like 13-year-old. So this spring is also available. I'll put a link on my video, and you'll be able to buy the spring. But what I'm going to try is just wind it one more turn so that it is more tight. So the way I did it is I turned it one more time on the spring, so it is much more loaded. Earlier this was pretty not very tight, so now you can see that it is tight. It's just one more turn, but then it gets difficult to put this into this notch, which is the more difficult part. And so if I pass this over in this gap, this will allow me some play to put this in. So I'm going to put this side first, and once I get this side in, I'll try to get the other side in too. So to squeeze a little bit right there, and once I get this in, I can pull it up both sides, and it will get into, yep, so this got into the groove. The other side now can be pushed in, and that will get into the groove right here. So now you can see that the spring is working better. So this is what you want, is if this motion, and it should stay pretty tight on the top. So that will close on the top here. And the way it goes is it goes in this way from the front. So this needs to go in tight. So when the ice maker needs to get the ice out, this will turn with this motor, and it will push this down so that the ice can flow down. But then the spring should get it back up. So now this looks better. I'm going to put this back in. Now to put this back in, it just slides right this way. The notch here is towards this side, and it will just slide in here. I will put the ones towards the motor first. And it gets into the notch at an angle. So this is where I have passed it first, and then on this side it will just pop in. So that goes like this. So now this looks good and it is functioning. It has these wires first, and there are two different types, so it's difficult to mess up. And then I'm going to route these wires right in this channel here, and then this is going to go in and attach on these two clips. So you see this clip and this clip. So first I will push this in. Again, it will help a lot if you have magnetic screwdriver, and that way you can guide the screw in. It's pretty deep in there. Same thing for the other one. It's way easier to have this magnetic screwdriver in there. So these wires are now tucked in, and this pipe for the water needs to be in this right there, so that it is locked in here. While removing this, I did break this tab in here, so I have to glue it over here, and these tabs are not, they're plastic tabs and they might break, but the good thing is there is a screw over here which will hold it, so in the bottom, and I'll try to glue it and see if it holds. While putting this back on, just make sure that this wire is within this area and not coming out here. And I'm going to put this thing back on. So this goes in. This goes in right here, and it should click. There you go. So I was able to put this clip back on, and it has been fine. So I'm going to put this, snap this back in, and I'm going to do it on the top first. And once this is done, I'm going to push this. So these are the ones where you can use a screwdriver again to push it back in. I'm going to use a flathead screwdriver to just push this a little bit so that it goes in. and the top one also. Looks good. Finally, there is this one screw that is used in this model. In the other Samsung models, you might have 2 screws on each side, and this will hold the assembly right there. And you can see the buildup is there, so it's good to clear this buildup and make new ice. Hope this helps. If you have any questions, you can comment on the video and I'll try to answer it. And if you like the video, click on the like button.